Hi guys, Sweet Phil here, and you're watching Zach Archer.
It really is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Travis Scott, known for such modern classics as Sicko Mode. I'm sure you've heard the story. I'm not fresh, hot off the presses here with this one, but I thought it was worth talking about because this whole Astroworld concert he had, it really highlighted some things that they've been brought up before in like the discourse of how concerts and events are run, and how like some things you never really think about, but then it's like, oh shoot, that's actually really serious. You should be taking these precautions. 9 people ultimately dead. It was like, I believe it was 8 initially, and then just a 9th one died who was like brain dead initially after the fact. Passed away. So ultimately 9 deaths and hundreds injured from this event. What a horrible thing. Obviously any catastrophe or tragedy at this level, it's awful, and it makes it especially worse when it's in a place like this, in a concert, in a club, something like that. Any place like that where it's a place where people are trying to have fun, like they're there to have fun, and it's something people look forward to. And so that's what makes it like especially engaging, I feel like, for most people when they hear about it. It's like, it's especially awful. With this one and the Manchester one from Ariana Grande's concert back in the day, just obviously the Orlando nightclub shooting too, like all these events, they're different. Obviously there was a shooting that was intended, that was like awful in a very different way. This was like an unintended consequence of just poor handling of an event. The idea, it's really hard to wrap your mind around. That's why I think this story is so huge right now. It's that the crowd just crushed the people in front, and it's mind-boggling that it was inescapable for these people. Like, obviously they wanted to get out of the situation, but even people there who survived and had to witness everything ensuing, they were talking about how they just couldn't escape it. And some people who survived, luckily, going through it, but they just talked about the weight they felt on them, just being pushed and pushed, and you're so restricted. There were way too many people just surging to the front. It was crazy. But now, as the title suggests, Travis Scott is not 100% responsible. I don't think anyone's saying that. Like, you should be fully accountable for this happening. Just because your name's on an event doesn't mean you're fully accountable for everything that takes place there. But he should be held accountable in that he could have stopped it. And I don't think we should be giving any slack here on that front. Now, from the public discourse, it seems like most people are in agreement that Travis Scott is like at fault in some degree here. But for the people that aren't, there's always that subsect of people, particularly fans, who like make excuses. And it's like, honestly, I don't care if you're a fan of Travis Scott. Like, it doesn't matter. If I'm a fan of anyone who does the same thing, like, no shot am I defending them. It's obviously, we don't know any of the artists or things we look up to. We don't know them that much on a personal level. But you would like to think that in a situation where your own fans, you see that one of your own fans is being crowd surfed off, completely unconscious, there are ambulances coming in, witnessing that, and we have video that he witnessed that, and he saw and stopped the concert for a couple moments. You would like to think that whatever artist you're a fan of would care enough, not only as a fellow human being, but as specifically about someone specifically who is there for you and is a fan of you, that they would stop the concert in that moment. There's nothing stopping a performer from putting a stop to the show, and there's no sort of weird obligation for a performer to just keep, like, the show must go on. That's not a thing when actual serious things are happening. It's not like, oh, concerts happen, people will just be dying. It's just a thing that happens at concerts. No, like, it should not be happening. So you stop if you see something like this, and he clearly did. And he had a weird video that has been obviously floating around so much of him doing this freaking auto-tuned lullaby off to this fan's body as it's being drifted out. Very weird. That's telling. It's like, and then he issued this apology video of this freaking selfie video he recorded where he clearly does not care. He does not care, and I don't think we should be twisting it one way or another to think like, oh, he couldn't have known, he couldn't have done anything. You very clearly can do something. It's not, you are not running the event by being the headlining act, but you have full capability to stop whenever. You could stop at the first 2 minutes. After the first 2 minutes of the song, you don't feel like performing. Okay, I'm done. I leave. Artists have stopped concerts and events for much less, like just feeling annoyed, not feeling up to it. A fan annoys them. They're just like, okay, I'm done. F it. That happens. So, and it's not like he's a very small underground artist. Like, he's doing just fine. You don't have an obligation to like, oh, I have to finish this event out. I have to play out the full set because I don't want to be issuing refunds here. You know, it's a service I'm putting out. No. It's like, it's a drop in the bucket. Any amount of refunds you have to give out. Obviously, you had to issue refunds anyway because this is awful, and then crazy that they let it go on. So Travis Scott is not solely responsible, but he should be completely held responsible. Any compassionate human being in that position would have done it completely differently. You stop it instantly. It's so easy. It's not even a question. You at least figure out what's going on. If it's like, oh, okay, someone just fainted and that's all it is, okay, the show can go on after that. But you stop it completely. You halt everything and you make sure damn well that it does not go on until you know for a fact that it's not something serious, which it was. So Travis Scott's not solely responsible. It's sad because it could have been stopped at so many different points. But it sucks when you have people in charge of these things that aren't thinking about things on a human level, you know? It's just numbers. It's just like push the show forward. We got Drake coming on here. We're going to lead into sicko mode now. Drake is coming, like, as if nothing's going on, even though people pleaded. The crowd tried to get Travis to stop the concert. People tried to reach out to other crew members, doing whatever they could to stop it. The show organizers there could have stopped it. Like, obviously there's chaos amidst like a concert. It's very hard to have a complete sense of what's going on. But they knew well in advance that things were happening and it was not a safe environment, and they could have stopped it, but they did not. That was a call that was made. There's no way in my mind that's a call I would ever make. You always have to err on the side of caution, because like, what's the worst case scenario? It's like after the fact, you get scolded because it wasn't as big a deal as it was. Like, no, but you have to think about the flip side. Where's the worst case scenario, and that's what this is. That you just let this play out, and there's an actual horror scene playing out amidst this, what just looks like a happy-go-lucky concert on the outside, and the people on the outside of it just watching the performance, like, they were probably none the wiser. I don't know. There were 50,000 people at this concert, and hundreds of them were affected by this chaos happening, but you have to imagine that thousands of them didn't even know. So that's got to be a weird feeling for them, even going home, like being like, oh, what a rad concert that was. Travis, he played the whole set through and it was awesome. Dre came out, love that guy. And then to hear this stuff come out, and then it's like, oh, you have to feel weird about it. You shouldn't have to feel weird about it. It should have been stopped. It's like, ugh. It's so sad. It's a really tragic event, because it's like, not only is it supposed to be a place where you're supposed to have fun, you know, music and a concert environment, but it's also just a really horrible way to die, you know, literally drowning in like other people. You know, there's so many people around you that you can't breathe, and it's not their own, and no one there was like trying to bring harm to people. It just happened. It's really crazy to think that something could get so out of hand so quickly. They, like, you literally are trying just to breathe and stay above proverbial water, and you can't even do that. Like, it's insane, and it's really sad, you know, to be a big fan of someone and have that be the place where it's, oh, that's awful. But I'm tired of people making excuses for anybody in these situations. Like, Travis Scott He also has a history of like being really stupid and negligent with other concerts he's held in the past too. And so no, I don't have any sympathy for him because he doesn't have any sympathy for his own fans. It's really crazy. He should be held accountable. But guess what? I'll probably be back at it in a couple months. It's so sad. Obviously, the people organizing the event, this never should have happened in the first place. Like, you need to have more safety precautions in place. We've heard the stories of the security guard being injected with something partway through as well. Like, it's just chaos. Like, you need to have more things in place to prevent this. And it was crazy seeing the video of everybody breaking through past the barrier, just to get into the concert too. Like, ugh. Obviously things can get out of hand when you have so many people together in any situation, but there obviously was more that could have been done in almost every level. But my problem with the Travis Scott situation, his perspective especially, is that he saw, and we know for a fact that he saw that something was going on. Something was. At the very least, there was a freaking body there that he sang an auto-tuned lullaby to, drifting him off. He saw that and decided, okay, that's fine, we'll continue on. Travis Scott is at the easiest position to stop this event because all the crew should have told him in his ear, okay, we're stopping this event. They should have done that. But Travis Scott had the easiest. He has the front row seat. He sees it. He can stop it in the easiest way because he's the one everyone's looking at. He's got the volume of the microphone. He can just say, hey, stop it. We need to figure this out. This is serious. And then that's it, Whether the crew likes it or not, they have to stop. It's not like he can just play it without him. He is the star of the show. So, whatever, Travis. Whatever. Really sad, tragic stuff. But, yeah. Just wanted to talk on that for a little bit. I don't know. I know it's been talked about a lot already, but, yeah. There's obviously lessons we can always learn from this, and obviously, hopefully, concert runners and event organizers take away from this as well. It's like you do not want a repeat of this. It's important to look at at tragedies like this and see how we can prevent it, because this was very preventable. It was preventable ahead of time. It was preventable as it was going on. And so now all we can do is prevent future tragedies, right? All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more, and go to zacharcher.net for everything else. All right.